Hello again, I am Blunty. This is the glorious GMMK 10 keyless keyboard that I just got to replace my aging Razer keyboard, and I just reviewed it. Spoiler for that video, I like it. Quite a lot actually. But along with it, I also bought a complete set of new keycaps, not out of dissatisfaction or anticipation of dissatisfaction for the default ones. It's just that I like custom RGB on my keyboard, and ever since I first discovered what is usually called pudding keycaps, I've wanted to try a set, so this seemed like a good opportunity. Pudding keycaps are keycaps that use translucent or frosted plastic to diffuse and more prominently display key switch backlighting by allowing more lighting to shine through the keycap's sides, but keeping legibility and clarity intact by using a normal solid color and shine-through legends on the top of the cap. And if you're wondering why they are called pudding keycaps, I don't know exactly. I can only imagine it's because, well, of this pudding type. So, while placing my order for the GMMK, I snatched up this cheap set of HK Gaming pudding keycaps. At just under 17 American smackers, they were one of the cheapest sets I found on Amazon. And quite unlike most other sets from other brands, these come in a very broad range of top colors. Some sets even have mix and match colors in them. They are double shot injected molded, compatible with Cherry MX switches, Gatorade switches like I'm using here, Calith switches, Altimu switches, and their clones and copycats alike. So, they'll fit and be profile compatible with most 60% keyboards and 87 TKLs and 104s and 108 MX layouts. These are keyboard nerd terms. Point is, they'll fit pretty much most common keyboards out there. Included in the box is all the keys you'll need for a standard ANSI US layout and ISO. Quality-wise, they seem quite decently made. Plastic feels good. The top has a very fine texture to it that allows for a very slight slip resistance without feeling grainy or being likely to collect grime, but also without feeling, glossy and gross. I don't like glossy keycaps. Ugh. The font on them is largely inoffensive and clear, although I do think it could stand to be slightly thicker to allow light to shine through a bit more consistently, as they seem a bit duller than I'd personally like. But that also might be a trick of the eye contrast thing, seeing as they're now surrounded by much more light than usual keycaps are. I do have some issues with the number row. The legend is smaller than the letters, which already makes them a little less clear, and the upper characters are not great. The $% and ampersand and all that kind of crap are very hard to read and only worsened by the stencil connective lines you can see there. But for the most part, everything else is clean and easy. I don't hate it. I think it could be better, but it's okay. The plastic itself is decently thick, but with some flex to the wall, so I don't expect any issues with longevity. They don't significantly alter the bottom-out sound on the Gator and Brown switches I'm using them on, perhaps ever so slightly more hollow sounding, but nothing unpleasantly so. And as you can see, the light transmission around the sides is nice and soft and very well diffused. Now, the keyboard I'm using has these switches in what keyboard nerds call north-facing configuration. To you and me, that just means the LED light is at the top of the switch. And yes, south-facing means the light is at the bottom edge of the switch. So in this case, certain keys look a little unevenly lit, being brighter at the top, naturally, because that's where the source of light is, which bothers my little autism brain just a little bit, if I'm to be honest with you, but nothing I can't live with. I do think I'd like to try them on a south-facing configuration to see if I like that better with the light source, pointing more at the direction of my face. But this is what I have, so this is what I can show you. For my keyboard, as you can see, I've kept the original F key row, mainly because they have some legends for the volume and media control sub-functions, which the pudding keycaps do not have because, well, you can't account for that. Every keyboard brand can do this differently. It's not an industry standardized thing like the rest of the keyboard layout is, so I can understand why. Final verdict though, money well spent. For $17, I think they're great. The keyboard is, to me, more aesthetically pleasing, which I appreciate. It'll look more interesting in the background of any videos I film here at the desk here, so that's always nice too. And in general, I really like this whole pudding keycap thing. It's not for everyone, I'm sure, but speaking personally, I'll almost certainly try some more in the future. HyperX does some, for example, which do seem to have a thicker legend lettering on them, so I might try those, although I'm not a particular fan of their font. But I do already frequently use two keyboards day in, day out, one on my main rig, another one on my gaming rig, so why not do my other keyboard too? Sadly, my other keyboard only has one color of light, but oh well. Maybe it's time to replace that. But if you are interested, links in the down below as usual, of course. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you to the patrons scrolling up above, whose above and beyond support, as I always tell you, is fantastic. Thank you for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A million times thank you. I am Blunty, and I will catch you next time.